believe we are recording. Okay, so we're recording after a little bit of technical difficulty, and that is why this looks so goofy. I don't know how to make myself bigger in the screen. So we're just going to try to go with what we've got. Yeah, I just don't know how to do this. So wonderful technology updates. All right, so the first thing I want to show you is our card number 1 that we're going to be doing. And that's going to be like an ombre effect. And we're going to be doing direct to folder, right? Direct ink right directly to our embossing folders. So I'm going to show you first a couple things that I played with, and then I'm going to show you a new one that I tried out. But I started with the Evergreen 3D folder. And in your little Stampers Club technique sheet, you'll see the two pictures. I used one side and then the other for the other side. And the cards that I created out of that was this little gnome guy that I absolutely love. This is Gnome for the Holidays, which is being retired. And then this little guy. So I was playing around with that whole technique and thought, I love just little pops of whimsy. So then I did like a snowflake one. And tried that and then popped this little guy in there. Thought that was kind of fun. So the card technique that I kind of settled on, because I really wanted the ombre effect. When I did the mountain one, it had the green in it. I had 2 shades of green, but then I had blue for the sky because I didn't want a green sky. So this is the card that I was playing with that I settled on. And I love this embossing folder a lot. It's a brand new one, and it is painted texture. And I love this look. So what I'm using on this is Coastal Cabana, Bermuda Bay, and then Pacific Point. And this was a happy accident. When I was coloring this little guy and cutting him out, I accidentally cut off the little jingle bell. But that's okay because he looks like a little wizard now. And I thought, wouldn't that be fun, little birthday card? I just, who knows? You could do a lot with this little card. Looks like fractured ice. So love this embossing folder. So I'm going to pull this down and we're going to get started on our technique. And I'm just going to show you how you can create it and you stamp along with me. So I know you all are on mute. So this is crazy with our tech right now. But if you do have a question, hold it. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're laughing on the other side. So we'll see what we can do. Here we go. Let's stamp together. I'm going to pull this down. All right, so here's my painted texture folder. You have the debossed side. You have the side that presses in. This side's my bumpy side, and it comes up. And then you have the other side. So when I did it with this folder, there wasn't much of a difference on it. So I'm just going to, for me, do it with this end that has our logo on it. Always start with your light color first. So hopefully you got all of the information about what we were going to need for today, which is 3 different shades of a color just for that effect. And I'm just doing a direct. So going like that. Now, when I come with my second color, my medium color, so my light, I'm going to kind of come up and kind of come into that just a little bit, right? So I'm kind of blending it in. I don't want a straight line because, well, straight lines aren't that much fun. And because I'm going from light to medium to dark, right, I always add my darker color. It's not going to show up on my ink pad. So I'm not worried about the blending of the colors because it's just not going to be an important. Ooh, look how dark that is. So I'm going to kind of swirl this a little bit to make it blend better. So I don't know if you can see that. I might just kind of come up like that a little bit. So I have my 3 colors. Now, if I'm putzing around with it and not getting in there as fast as I want, I can huff on it. I was breathing on it. You couldn't see that off camera. And now I'm going to just put this in. Some people like to lay it on that side and then close it. For me, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to run this through my embossing machine real quickly. And because I can't see you guys, because we have this wonderful tech problem today, I'm hoping. Ooh, I just love this stuff. Okay. So now you can see where I just didn't have enough ink in this one divoted area, but you know what? That's okay. That's just going to look kind of icy. And to me, this just has this wonderful artsy fartsy look. So I'm okay with that. If I wasn't okay, I could grab a sponge and then just sponge in that area. Or, nope, I'm not going to do it because I know it'll mess it up. Wonder if I could come over here and then just dab it on from there. There we go. Okay. All right. So it's kind of art. So art is the way it is. All right. So now I'm going to adhere this onto my card base. And I'm using Whisper White just because it is easy with matching other colors. I didn't know what color you were going to do. Now, you can notice that I am doing some of this snail adhesive, mono adhesive on this. It can grab and tear. So I've learned that from experience, but that's what I had handy, so I grabbed it. All right. I'm going to just eyeball this so I have a nice little border around. And now I'm going to stamp my little gnome and I'm going to color him. Again, this gnome was in our holiday catalog and he is no more. Get it? No more. Good thing you are muted. I can't hear you groan. So I'm stamping him and then using Memento ink, and then I'm going to just color him. I love our Stampin' Blends because I can blend color. Now, if you're ever using a stamping blend, protect your surface underneath because the color will bleed through, right? So I'm going to give him some black boots. So that is really black. Ooh, here we go. So you can also color with things. I'm going to give this a little darker there. By going darker, I can add a little bit of texture to his boot. Forgot what I was just going to tell you. Oh, you can color with various things. You can color with markers. They don't tend to blend as much, but they still do a very nice job. You can color with, watercolor crayons. You can color with a variety of things, even with an ink pad and a blender pen. So that's something maybe I'll do a little thing on next time because that is just an easy way to color with the stuff that you already have. So it's pretty cool that way. Almost done with him. I meant to give him a little bit of a highlight coming around because I just kind of want this shaded a little bit darker. And I'm going to take my pen because I can just kind of keep adding a little bit of layers if I wanted, but I'm going to just pull out some of this color that's in his clothes. It's not really worried about it a whole lot. Just kind of want him to look a little more magical and pull some of that color up there. I don't know why I did that because I am going to cut that off on purpose. So when you're cutting things out, don't try to move your scissors around, just pivot. And a lot of you already know this, just kind of pivot your card as you go. So it just makes it a lot easier. And sometimes when you're pivoting, there just seems to be a little bit too much on your scrap. And I hope I was thinking about this earlier and I didn't ask. I hope that I gave you guys a scrap in your kits. Um, if not, I am so sorry. This little guy can be added earlier or later because essentially you've done the technique. These are quick and easy cards using stuff that you already have: embossing folders, ink, and then just paper. It's not a very large thing, hard thing to do. Okay, I'm going to cut that little bell off and coming around. I'm trying to do this so you can see me, so it's not so boring when you go back and watch the video. Okay, come around, wiggle, make little fingers, come back around, and around his foot. And then, he's got a little bit of white right there. I, I don't mind getting in here and then just really cutting that little bit out. You don't have to. I mean, there we go. There's my little guy. He's got a little white on the end of his fingers. Okay, so I want to stick him on my card, but when I like to stick him on, I want him to look like he's kind of stepping out of the card a little bit. So I am going to be very specific in how I put him on. But you know what? I could use a little. Yes, I've totally overkilled him. He's a little guy and he's got a lot of little dimensions on him. So I'm going to take these guys off. Some people use tools, if you have fingernails, just that works too. Okay, so when I am putting him on, I could put him in the picture like that, or I could put him so he's like kind of in front of it, like this is an art gallery. So he's kind of like in it, but not in it. And this gives me plenty of room to put a little fun sentiment up here, or just leave it like this, whimsical. And when you open it up, it has the message. So this is a wonderful, fun little card. Whatever colors you use, whatever embossing folder that you have, you can do whimsy, or you can just put a sentiment on it and not even have the cute little fun whimsy thing. But how often do we have those little fun stamps that have a little character that we maybe forgot about, or a design? You could even do a beautiful one and use your dies if you have flour, and then have that coming out and kind of reaching in front of it. There's all sorts of things you can do with what you already have. So the theme for this year is you use what you've got. And what you don't have, you can buy from me. But just kind of explore what we have. All right, I am going to stop the recording and let's see. And then we'll just finish up.